Hey Void, how you doing? So, day 2 of my 2023 October movie binge, as if I'm not always movie binging, but the 31 Days of Horror that we're doing once more. So last night I reviewed 2 films, was hoping to get more done, didn't quite get to it. So, knocked one off my backlog, and I got my first October one done. But, second movie. Poltergeist. Now, this is a movie I grew up with. Poltergeist 2 was actually one of the first horror movies I saw when I was like in 4th grade or so, 4th or 5th. It was, so really young. And kind of always stuck with me. So, Poltergeist it didn't take me too long to see thereafter, but it's one that's always, I guess, been in my life. And I actually got this copy from my first job when it was at a video store, and I think it was one of my first purchases there for brand new movies, because I got hired around October-ish, so they had Halloween movies come in, and I bought a copy of Poltergeist. This exact one. You don't even see these like little old school snap cases very much anymore. Alright, Poltergeist, 1982. One of the movies I think that helped inspire the PG-13. Okay, so. Poltergeist for me is a classic. Not a very frightening film by any means, but a fascinating one and an entertaining one. So, plot. This one's so iconic, it's kind of like, what isn't already known? But, family who's been living in a house for a little while, they didn't just move in, they've been digging a new pool. Some minor strange incidences happen, particularly their youngest daughter, Carol Ann, who's now 5 years old, and was actually born in this house, is starting to sleepwalk a little bit, particularly to the TV, and seems to start talking to the static. And, one day, something seems to come through, and they're here. From that, we start off with kind of a sense of whimsy and wonder, as these ghosts, or whatever this is, doesn't seem too bad. Just moving some chairs around, some weird little sliding area in the kitchen. It's fine. It's no big deal. Until it suddenly goes from whimsical to malicious in like 2 seconds flat. When later that night the tree outside is grabbing their son and trying to eat him. Meanwhile, serving as a distraction for the door to the other side, hidden inside Caroline's closet, to pull her into the world of the dead, and the rest of the film is trying to figure out how to get her back. Calling in paranormal investigators, psychics, including Tangina, played by the late great Zelda Rubinstein, and she's a character. She's an actress that stuck with me ever since I saw the first one. Her demeanor and voice are just so iconic. So, Poltergeist, it's a Tobe Hooper film, directed film, but Steven Spielberg was heavily involved in the proceedings, and it definitely does feel like a Spielberg film. It's got that era of whimsy about it that permeates most of Spielberg's work, particularly around that time frame, and it kind of actually benefits from that. It's not trying to be crazy scary, just spooky, but still kind of a feel-good horror film. If there's one that's a feel-good horror film, I'd call it Poltergeist. The effects are definitely dated, particularly the animated or puppetry, and the one gory scene in the film definitely doesn't really hold up too well, but never in a bad way. This movie's like a walking through a state fair haunted house. It's a Halloween movie, really. It's a walk through a haunted house. It never gets too serious or too scary, but it's a fun time, and Like, the comedy lines of this movie always get me. There's the movie is funny when it wants to be. It's suspense. And it's definitely suspenseful. And I enjoy the fact that it does the fake out ending where you think everything's fine, but then the movie just for some reason seems to just keep going. The effects have dated, and the musical score definitely projects more whimsy than menace, but I'm okay with both those things here. Poltergeist, I'm gonna give it 8 MacGuffins. It's just a fun movie. If you haven't seen it, it's worth a watch, but don't go into it expecting to be too scared. But it's a fun film, and this is one of the movies I recommend for like younger viewers who are starting to get into horror. I mean, there's one scene that is a little bit graphic, but it goes by very quick and it's easy. It's not too bad. It's easiest to look away or instruct your kids to look away, but like. This is usually why I recommend people getting into horror to kind of start off with. The easy in. It's spooky, but not, like, terrifying. That's really all I got on this one. Let's see if I can get any of my backlog done now. See you soon, Floyd.